Today I'm going to do a very, very short review of freeze-dried Tubifex worms. I have Betta fish. I'm breeding them over here. I have well over 200 here. I feed them brine shrimp every evening. And in the morning I give them this freeze-dried Tubifex worms. How do I feed them? I see sometimes people put the whole cube in. I'll just take one piece out. I feed it to the large Betta as well. I have the mother and father of all these here, and I feed them this one every day, every other day. We have lots of guppy, and so this is what a cube looks like. So. For the fish, these are juvies now. That means they're juveniles. They're nearly ready for separating, and I'm able to tell the sex of them, some of them from one another. And there's some of them they're getting a little bit aggressive, so we will be jarring them soon. Some of them, not all at the one time, but. This is my first time breeding Betta, and. I won it in a draw. We won a pair of Betta in a draw. And instead of putting the whole cube in, like I see some people doing, to make sure all the fish gets plenty to eat, I put them in a little bit at a time, here and there, all over the tank. And I break it up into about 6 or 8 pieces. And they break it up themselves because they are a little bit. See that one there? So I'll get 2 or 2.5 cubes for them now. Probably have to buy another packet of this. But if you don't want to use real Tubifex worms can and do sometimes cause problems with your fish if they're fresh, because you know they live in the sewers. These freeze-dried ones are completely safe for your fish. They do, when they break them up, as you can see here, maybe I put too much down there. When they break them up, they get a little bit, it takes them a couple of minutes after you put them in, and you can see them, they get a little bit, they break them up, and then they do look like worms. But you see, they swallow them whole, so when they're too small, you shouldn't do this to them, because they will, when they're too small, they might choke on the worm. So I waited until they were 6 weeks old, something like that. So I'm going to put 2 or 3 in here, and then I'm going to bring you over to the other side, and I'm going to bring you over to the other side. I'm going to feed Reggie and Daisy. We have names on them. My daughter has names on them. So I won't give, they don't eat so much. The growing fish eats a lot more. I will come back here now and give these some more food in a minute, right? So are they okay there? Yeah, they're all happy. So this is Daisy. Daisy is the mother of all them fish over there. So I only give them, Daisy usually takes 2 small pieces like this. I'll give it to her there. You can see her, they like it. And Ronnie is not the father. Ronnie don't like them, so but Reggie loves them as well. So we will bring it over here. Now we'll see the way she's grabbing it, and it's the fighting fish part of them. The way they eat like. I am not going to remove the cover, because if she sees the girl, she won't bother with the food at all. She'll just start flaring. He'll start flaring. She flares a little bit as well. So, and then I'll bring you down here. So this is Reggie, and I'm going to feed Reggie. Reggie and Ronnie are called after the Cray twins, if anybody knows who they are. So I'm down on the other end here. I see that Daisy's finished, so I'll give her more. And that's all I need to give them. They are, if you're conditioning them to breed them again, you probably give them a lot more food. If you're wondering why the water is yellow, the water is dyed with Indian almond leaves, or thalassai leaves, we call them here. We dry them ourselves, and we do this. It's a disinfectant in the water for them. So, and that's their natural habitat. So we'll go back over here. So as you see, they've eaten it all already. Because they are getting big by the day, you can see them there. Some of them are maybe 30 millimeters long, or a little bit more even. Some of them may be 32 millimeters long. So I'm going to have to give them extra each day now. So I'm going to have to buy more of this. They will get their brine shrimp, but I've increased the amount of brine shrimp I'm giving them as well. And so at this stage, the one piece I have here, these ones are fighting. These fish are not afraid of people. They love to interact with people. You put your finger in their water, they won't run away. So they're very funny. But they are difficult to look after. There is a lot of work in breeding these. So I'm going to give them plenty to eat today, because some of them are lying down on the bottom. They will come up. They're after getting fed the first time. And they're kind of in a bit of a frenzy there now. See what happens if I put a big one in there now? One of them will drag it around, and then the other one. And if you pick it up, the fish will be hanging out of it. So that's what Tubifex worm is, dried Tubifex worm, and it's the fish like them. This one is hanging out of this one. When they're grown up a little bit, you can give them like Betta gold or something like that. I'm the believer with all fish is to give them a mixture of diet, just like you would with a person. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel.